distraction, shall I say, about the Willie Lynch ladder that will keep black folks ignorant of it. There's a major distraction about the Willie Lynch ladder that will keep black folks ignorant of the devices that's been created toward them. It's your boy Hood, Pastor Full Impact Ministries, the social media ministry that brings gut-wrenching truth about God's true nature towards us through the scriptures. Today is going to be part 2 of the Willie Lynch ladder. And I believe it's very important as a matter of fact, I believe it's vital. I believe it's vital for the black community, for everybody, every adult, every young adult to be taught this ladder of the Willie Lynch ladder. I believe it's vital because there are many people saying that the ladder is fraud, is not true, is fake, and all that. And watch this here. For conversation's sake, let's just say it's true. But when you read the letter and when you look at the differences that he has toward black people, there is no doubt that those differences are functioning in the black community today on a major scale. Let's get into it. I had stopped because of time, so we're going to continue today on the cardinal principles for making a Negro. The cardinal principles for making a Negro. Now, as I read this letter to you, just look at the black community as it is today. What's up, Patrick? How you feel? Just look at the black community as it is today, as this letter is being read to you. And you're going to see that it's major. Now, mind you, warning, this letter will make a lot of people angry. So your skin is going to have to be tough. But it's the truth. It's going to make a lot of people angry. But you're going to have tough skin, and you're going to have to be open for the real truth about the black community. You're going to have to be open for it. You're going to have to be open for it. Okay. Cardinal principles for making a Negro. Oh, and by the way, let me tell you who Willie Lynch is so we can start it off. Willie Lynch was a white slave owner in Virginia, and he was charged to bring a system to the other white slave owners on teaching them how to make slaves. So the whole letter is the Willie Lynch letter, the making of a slave. Cardinal principles for making a Negro. For fear that our future generations may not now he's talking to the white slave owners in this letter, and he's teaching them how to make slaves. For fear that our future generations may not understand the principles of breaking both of the beasts together. And both of the beasts, he's talking about the nigger and the horse. The black person and the horse. The nigger and the horse. We understand that short-range planning economics results in periodic economic chaos. Listen to this. we understand that short-range planning economics results in periodic economic chaos. This is where we have to get an understanding on as Black people. When we do all these protests, these boycotts, but we do them off of emotions with no real solution, with no real plan for a long-term solution. We do them off of emotions. We get angry, we get hostile and violent, but we do this stuff with no real long-term planning. And as a result, we end up right back in the same old mess. He said, we understand that short-range planning economics results in periodic economic chaos. You know how we do the Target boycott, now we're doing the Asian boycott, them protests for Floyd, Brown, all these kind of things. And no real strategic long-term planning. And as a result, we end up right back where we've been, ground zero in a lot of chaotic situations in our own lives. No growth. As a matter of fact, we done went backwards. So that to avoid turmoil in the economy, it requires us to have breadth and depth in long-range comprehensive planning, articulating both skill-sharp perceptions. We lay down the following principles for long-range comprehensive economic planning. Watch this here. So you got to have a plan. Got to have a plan. Both horse and niggers is no good to the economy in the wild or natural state. He's saying both the horse and the nigger are no good to them if they're kept in their natural, wild or natural state. So he's saying the horse in his wild state and the nigger in his natural state. If we leave them like that, they will be no good to our economy. Both must be broken and tied together for orderly production, for orderly future. Listen to that. Both must be broken and tied together for orderly production, for orderly future. He's saying that in order for our plan to work, we have to break them from what they was naturally created for, because it will not help our economy at all. It will go completely against the economic plan that we have. So we have to disrupt and break it and get it out of their lives, out of their mind altogether. Listen to this stuff here. Special and particular attention must be paid to the female and the youngest offspring. Listen to that. See, I'm taking my time so you can ingest it. You need to ingest this so you can get a real understanding of the plan. So you can get a real understanding of the strategic strategy that's truly been set up against you. Special and particular attention must be paid to the female and the youngest offspring. Watch how you bring it in. Both must be crossbred to produce a variety and division of labor. Both must be taught to respond to a peculiar new language. He's talking about the female and the offspring. Jesus. Psychological and physical instruction must be created for both. Got to do a whole new lick. Got to do a whole new lick. We hold the 6 cardinal principles as truth to be self-evident based upon the following: the discourse concerning the economics of breaking and tying the horse and the nigger together. All inclusive of the 6 principles laid down about. Neither principle alone will suffice for good economics. You got to do them all together. He's saying neither principle that I've set up will work by itself. They all have to be put in play together in orderly fashion in order for this plan to work. All principles must be employed for orderly good of the nation. Accordingly, both a wild horse and a wild or nature nigger is dangerous even if captured, for they will have the tendency to seek their customary freedom, and in doing so might kill you in your sleep. You cannot rest. They sleep while you are awake and are awake while you are asleep. They are dangerous near the family house, and it requires too much labor to watch them away from the house. Above all, you cannot get them to work in this natural state. Hence, both the horse and the nigger must be broken. That is, breaking them from one form of mental life to another. My God. My God. You know, he's using everything to divide and conquer. Plan been working for the longest. Keep the body, take the mind. In other words, break the will to resist. Now, the breaking process is the same for both the horse and the nigger, only slightly varying in degrees. But as we said before, there is an art in long-range economic planning. We got to learn that. We black community, we black people, we black community, we have to learn to stop getting in our emotions, getting in our feelings, and we have to come up with a strategic plan so that we can be a strong, fruitful, productive community. Watch this, for generations to come. We don't know that we are really the tool that is destroying us and destroying generations to come. Yeah, yeah, it's us. It's us all by ourselves. All they did was uh put the plan out there, and they done left it alone. And we gone with it. Watch this. As I read it, you see Let me see. Uh, you must keep your eye and thoughts on the female and the offspring of the horse and the nigger. A brief discourse in offspring development will shed light on the key to sound economic principles. Pay little attention to the generation of original breaking, but concentrate on future generations. My God, Jesus Christ. Listen to this here. Pay little attention to the generation of original breaking. He's talking about the ones who get the first breaking, the first breaking. He said, pay little attention to them, but concentrate on future generations. This one is setting the ground, but we got generations to work with. And this is how we're going to do it. Watch this. Therefore, if you break the female mother, she will break the offspring in its early years of development. And when the offspring is old enough to work, she will deliver it up to you. For her normal female protective tendencies will have been lost in the original breaking process. What is her original tendencies? Let's check this out. For example, take the case of the wild stud horse. A female horse and an already infant horse, and compare the breaking process with two captured nigger males in their natural state, a pregnant nigger woman with her infant offspring. Take the stud horse, break him for limited containment. Completely break the female horse until she becomes very gentle. Whereas you or anybody can ride her in her comfort. Breed the mare and the stud until you have the desired offspring. Then you can turn the stud to freedom until you need him again. He's talking about the horse on that one. Watch this. Train the female horse where she will eat out of your hand, and she will in turn train the infant horse to eat out of your hand also. When it comes to breaking the uncivilized nigger, use the same process. What I just read you, the breaking process, how they break a horse, the stud, the male and the female and the infant. He said use the same process for the nigger. Watch it. Where am I at? Um, but vary the degree and step up the pressure. Now on the human, now on the nigger, he said vary the degree, step up the pressure. Bring bring, bring the pressure. Watch this. Keep your foot on the gas. Watch this. So as to do a complete reversal of the mind. Take the meanest and most restless nigger, strip him of his clothes in front of the remaining male niggers, the female and the nigger infant. Tar and feather him. Tie each leg to a different horse faced in opposite directions. Set him on fire and beat both horses to pull him apart in front of the remaining niggas. Listen to this now. Listen to this. He said, because he's doing a mind reversal on him. Take the meanest and most restless nigga. So he's talking about the male nigga who is considered the toughest, the baddest, the biggest out of all of them. Take him, put him in front of all the rest of the male niggas, the female niggas, and the infant niggas. Take that bad, tough man, strip him naked, tar and feather him. You got a horse facing this way, and a horse facing this way. So you got a horse facing west, a horse facing east. We're going to spread his arms and tie one arm to the horse that's facing west, one arm to the horse that's facing east. And we're going to beat both of the horses until they run fast as they can. And when they run, they are going to split that bad, tough, hard nigger, the best nigger they got. The horses are going to split him in half in front of all the rest of the niggas, in front of the rest of the male niggas, in front of the female niggas, and in front of the infant niggas. And they're going to see that their big, bad, strong, giant male nigger that they looked up to has been stripped of all his power, has been embarrassed, shamed, tortured, and split in half in front of them by us white people, by us white slave owners. The next step is to take a bullwhip and beat the remaining nigger males to the point of death in front of the female and the infant. Don't kill them, but put the fear of God in them, for he can be useful for future breeding. For future breeding. Listen to this. The next step is to take a bullwhip and beat the remaining nigger males to the point of death in front of the female and the infant. Don't kill them, but put the fear of God in them, for he can be useful for future breeding. This is the mind reversal that he's using on the rest of the males and the females and the infants. So he's letting the males know, you see what we just did to your big idol, don't you? And now you see the beating we putting on you, don't you? You better act right. Then the females and the infants are looking at this here like, man, all our protection is gone. We don't have anyone to protect us. We don't have anyone to provide for us. We done. I said, so, and he said, you make sure that you put the fear of God in these jokers. Don't kill them, because we're going to need their sperm later for breeding some more niggas. This is where This is where you have the women getting a Section 8. See, you have to wonder about these things. When they tell the black woman that she can have welfare in an apartment, but the man can't be there. But she's able to keep having kids. Some of this stuff has to click in. Some of this stuff has to click in. She's able to keep having kids because those same kids that she's having, she's going to raise them the same way that he's talking about. She's going to raise them to learn how to eat out of our hand and do labor. You tell me that ain't, man, you tell me this stuff ain't going on right now. Okay. Should I do this here right now? Because I'm finna get on the breaking process of the African woman. The breaking process of the African woman. So I'm gonna spend 5 minutes on this here because I don't want to go past the time that I want to be on it. The breaking process of the African woman will coincide to what we just talked about. Take the female and run a series of tests on her to see if she will submit to your desires willingly. Test her in every way because she is the most important factor for good economics. My God. Let me read that again. Take the female and run a series of tests on her to see if she will submit to your desires willingly. Test her in every way because she is the most important factor for good economics. If she shows any sign of resistance in submitting completely to your will, do not hesitate to use the bullwhip on her to extract that last bit of resistance out of her. Take care not to kill her, for in doing so, you spoil good economics. When in complete submission, she will train her offsprings in the early years to submit to labor when they become of age. So he's saying, this says resist. He's saying, do not hesitate to use the bullwhip on her to extract the last bit of bitch out of her. When in complete submission, she will train her offsprings in the early years to submit to labor when they become of age. Understanding is the best thing. Therefore, we shall go deeper into this area of the subject matter concerning what we have produced here in this breaking process of the female nigger. We have reversed the relationship in her natural uncivilized state. She would have a strong dependency on the uncivilized nigger male, and she would have a limited protective tendency toward her independent male offspring and would raise and will raise male offsprings to be dependent like her. Let me read that again. We have reversed the relationship in her natural uncivilized state. She would have a strong dependence on the uncivilized nigger male. That's the natural state of the woman, is to depend on the male. That's the natural state. the black woman to depend on the black male. That's the natural state. They say that that is uncivilized for what they have in plan. So they created a whole nother system. And they had to use the female. She's the most important tool. Because she's the one they are going to use for the orbiting, for the generations to come. And she would have a limited protective tendency toward her infant male offspring and will raise him and will raise male offsprings to be dependent like her. So that's why you see a lot of time when the black mother is real lenient towards a little young black boy, because the black male is no longer there. So she's trying to protect him from being beat like the other males, from being taken away like the other males. So she's going to overly protect him, so she thinks, when what she's really doing is going along with the economic plan that they have for her son to be functioning just like she is. Watch this. Nature had provided for this type of balance, that the black woman be dependent on the black male. Listen, nature had provided for this type of balance. This is something that is supposed to be natural for the black woman to depend on the black male. But they broke the system. They broke that system and brought their own. We reversed nature by burning and pulling a civilized nigger apart and bullwhipping the other to the point of death. The same system I just told you. All in her presence. By her being left alone, unprotected, with the male image destroyed, the ordeal caused her to move from her psychological dependent state to a frozen independent state. In this frozen psychological state of independence, she will raise her male and female offspring in reverse roles. For fear of the young male's life, she will psychologically train him to be mentally weak and dependent, but physically strong, because she has become psychologically independent. She would train her female offsprings to be psychologically independent. What have you got? You've got the nigger woman out front and the nigger man behind and scared. God dog it, Jesus. Let me say that again. What have you got with that training? What have you got? You've got the nigger woman out front and the nigger man behind and scared. My Lord, Jesus have mercy. If you all ain't seeing this stuff, you are too blind for me to help you. If you're not seeing this right now in the black community, you are too blind for me to help you. This is a perfect situation of sound sleep and economic. Before the breaking process, we had to be alertly on guard at all times. Now we can sleep soundly. For out of frozen fear, his woman stands guard for us. He cannot get past her early slave molding process. This is why she cussed the black man out, put him out the house, tell him, I don't need you. I don't need you. You can't do nothing for me and these kids. I don't need you. He is a good tool, now ready to be tied to the horse at a tender age. To my offspring. By the time a nigger boy reaches the age of 16, he is soundly broken in and ready for a long life of sound and efficient work and the reproduction of a unit of good labor force. Continually through the breaking of uncivilized savage nigger by throwing the nigger female savage into a frozen psychological state of independence, by killing of the protective male image, and by creating a submissive, dependent mind of the nigger male slave. We have created an orbiting cycle that turns on its own orbits forever. My God. Unless a phenomenon occurs and reshifts the position of the male and female slaves. What he mean by unless a great phenomenon occurs and reshifts the position of the male and female slaves is if the male and the female somehow come to a real understanding of who they really are by nature, of who they really are. They'll break away from that system. I pray we break away from that system. I pray we break away from that system. We show what we mean by example. Take the case of the two economic slave units and examine them closely. I'm going to do the nigger marriage. This probably be the longest one I done did, the part two, because this will be the end of it. This is the end of it. The nigger marriage. We breed two nigger males with two nigger females. Then we take the nigger males away from them and keep them moving and working. Say one nigger female bears a nigger female and the other bears a nigger male. Both nigger females being without influence of the nigger male image, frozen with an independent psychology, will raise their offspring into reverse positions. My God, Jesus. If y'all can't see this stuff is going on in the black community, I don't know what else to do for you. I really don't. If y'all don't see this stuff happening, I don't know what to do for you. The one with the female offspring will teach her to be like herself, independent and negotiable. We negotiate with her, through her, by her. We negotiate her at will. I don't know how you don't see this. The one with the nigger male offspring, she being frozen with a subconscious fear for his life. That's what I told you. That's why the black woman raises her black son timidly, because she fears for his life as a black man. So she raised him to be submissive. She raised him to have his hand out, because she's already been conditioned like that. So she raises him to she don't raise him to be a strong leader, because she saw what happens to strong leaders. So she raised him so in fear for his life, she raises him the reverse way. Will raise him to be mentally dependent and weak, but physically strong. In other words, body over mind. Now, in a few years, when these two offsprings become fertile for early reproduction, we will mate and breed them and continue the cycle to my generations. That is good, sound, and long range comprehensive planning. Many say that the Willie Lynch letter is a fraud, is fake, is not real. I submit to you today, if that is the case, if it is the case, there's no doubt that the system that he has in this letter, or whoever wrote it in this letter, there's no doubt that this system is rotating in the black community like never before. It's rotating in no other community but the black community. So whether this letter is real, fake, or whatever, the plan, the system is very real in the black community. It's very real in the black community. And there's no doubt about that. I don't care how you try to say it's not. All you have to do is look at the black community. Matter of fact, most of y'all just look in your house. Most of y'all just look in your own life. This system is present and is deep in the black community today. Whether this letter is fake, fraud, I don't care what you want. You can call it what you want to call it. But this system is very real in the black community. And in order for the black community to break free of this system that has plagued us for take a great phenomenon. It is going to take a real coming of mindset that this is not our natural way of living. Come up from other being hoodwinked, bamboozled, like Malcolm X say, hoodwinked, bamboozled. And we're going to have to learn how to get back to our natural state. We black men, we black women are going to have to get back to our natural state so that the black infants can be raised the true natural way, so that we can reverse that system and get back to our natural way, so that a power can begin to grow, a great position can begin to grow, Great wealth can begin to grow. Great unity can begin to grow. Great strength can begin to grow in the Black community. We are awesome people, and we have to come from up under this system so that our greatness can be displayed, watch this, among the Black community, and not be used for everybody else for them to profit. But we have to profit off our own greatness. Watch this, and I'm done, for generations to come. It's your boy Hood, the Willie Lynch letter. I'm out. Peace.